Y'all know what it is. Kaja Sose. We in the studio.
Catastrophic,
Oh wow, that was a very strong and catastrophic.
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic?
How you doing, guys?
Hello? It's nice to be here.
Hello?
Hello.
You remember that? Was it a Vine? I'm pretty sure it was a Vine.
For you young people, Vine is or was.
Way better than TikTok.
I wouldn't say it's way better, but it was the
I
exact
think
same
so.
thing. It was the exact.
There's way more funnier shit.
Way
on
more
Vine.
funnier. Why do you always add more when the conjugation of the verb or the adjective
Shut up.
itself?
Anyways, you know that Vine where someone's taking a video of that chick sleeping, and then they're pouring water
know
on
that
her.
Vine.
They're pouring water on her face, and she just wakes up. She doesn't even open her eyes. She's just like, "Hello."
No. To be fair, I didn't even know Vine was a thing until like a year after it went out of business.
It was
Yeah.
great.
I mean, I didn't have a smartphone until I was 20, 21, I think.
I feel like,
Yeah.
cause I always had cell phones, but I didn't have a smartphone until,
Well, they didn't become quite as they were around in high school.
but they weren't big.
I never. Well, I mean,
Cause in high school,
Well, they
that's
weren't as
when
big as they are
that's
now,
when the first iPhone came out, but not many people had
yeah.
that.
Oh, you know what I remember? For anyone under the age of 23, you probably can't relate to this. Or maybe, because kids might have played this on like their parents or their older siblings' phone. You remember?
Snake.
No, we're not dinosaurs. Snake. I mean, yeah,
Alright,
I
I'm
played.
older
No.
than you.
Bullshit. I played Snake too, but that's such an old person. No. Let me hit you with the 21st century throwback. I guess that's
Okay.
technically Snake too. Doodle Jump.
Doodle Jump. Why does that sound familiar?
Oh my God, you don't remember Doodle Jump? The little green or like yellow dude with like the
weird
horn
face.
nose.
Yeah.
And like he jumps up on the platforms and I mean, he's a doodle that jumps.
What was that on?
It was one of the first apps that was a game. It was one of the first games in the App Store.
I mean, I think I got my first iPhone.
Oh, I didn't have it on my phone. I had a friend who had an iPhone. Yeah.
I got an iPhone when I was like, I think I turned
I had a sidekick
19.
when I was 18, 19.
Oh, so you were cool.
Wasn't even, no.
Old sidekick?
I'm pretty sure it was older, but it was also, well, first I had the sidekick where like it slides up to reveal the keyboard.
You didn't have the one that flips?
Hold on, if I could finish my story.
Okay, attitude.
It's sass, motherfucker. It's not attitude. I had a teal blue and pearl white one because my girlfriend at the time had gotten a new phone, and so she gave me her phone because hashtag no money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I had the sidekick where it flips up and has the little screen. And I gotta be honest, that thing was it's very weird. I feel like when Razors, you remember Razors?
I loved my razors.
Razors,
So cute.
yeah, Razors were dope. And then you had the whole BlackBerry sidekick phase, which I didn't like.
My brother had a BlackBerry.
I liked that you could have a keyboard, like that was really cool, but I don't know, I didn't like the phone. In between a Razor and a smartphone, I fucking hated cell phones. I thought they were
Really?
lame.
Do you remember my friend in high school? She would always get like the latest cell phones, like whatever was fucking cool. One of them, do you
The
remember?
Dingleberry 2.0 or something.
You remember the Juke? It was that skinny ass phone, and it was like
like
this
flip
small, and it
rotated?
flip rotates.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the smallest thing
It was super thin.
imaginable. Yeah, it's thin as shit. And
Well-
like, I feel like back then they started making phones that were just smaller and smaller and
Well,
smaller.
that's what they did, 100%. It was, originally you had like the brick cell phone. Yellow. People were like, where are you? There's so much noise. And you're like, I'm on the street. I'm on my cell phone. I don't actually know how this went because I'm not that old. I've just seen it in TV shows. But then they had, they got smaller and smaller. You had like the Nokia brick phones that like, I remember one time, Apple, how about you bring this fucking technology back, huh? Yeah, I'm looking right at you.
What?
I almost said Bill Gates. Steve Jobs, even though he's dead. Whoever the new CEO or whoever's in charge of Apple, I'm looking right at you. My friend one time took his Nokia and launched it into the sky.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, launched it. And it hit the ground perfectly fine. I mean, not a scratch, nothing. The goddamn thing, I mean, I've been thinking about, like, how we've been talking about getting, like, a gun for the apartment just for protection. But I think I'm just going to buy an old Nokia.
Just launch it at
And
people.
when someone breaks in, just, bam, just, I mean, it's probably more deadly than a bullet if we're being honest. But I mean, you breathe on my iPhone wrong, shattered.
I swear.
Gone. I mean, it looks nice. It's sleek. Yeah, it's cool. It's sexy. Besides the color schemes for the new iPhones, which are fucking garbage. I don't know who's designing your goddamn colors. I've got a lot of hate for Apple in my heart right now.
I don't like the colors.
They're, well...
Like, of all the colors in the fucking spectrum, you could do it any cool fucking color.
Life is a spectrum, and so are the colors.
And they do it like such dull.
Well, here's the thing. No, they've nailed it in the past before. Well, they only do like 3 or 4 colors, which always irritates me. Like, if I can create custom vans, why can't I just customize my fucking iPhone case?
I want that shit to be like purple.
But not with the new ones. I picked red because on the thing they had for the color, they had the side view.
The sides are
and
cool.
It's a chrome metallic red. And I was like, that's dope. I'll take that one. And then they brought it out. The side is chrome metallic red. And then the back is like Playhouse red. Like a...
It's like crayon red.
Yeah, like crayon red. Just even more than even crayon red.
I feel like I love my iPhone. Like, this shit, it just looks...
Yours has a nice color.
It looks like cream.
To be fair, I think every other
pretty.
color I've seen besides the one I picked, it looks at least okay.
I like it, but with all iPhones... Like, you can get a clear case, but most clear cases aren't the cases that are really going to protect your phone.
Yeah. Well, also, just make my iPhone out of the Nokia 9000, whatever it was called. Make it out of that material. Yeah, like that rubber brick. To be fair, when I did pick red, the dude brought it out, and I probably could have said, oh, I don't like that, send it back. But he had brought it out, and he showed me. And I was like, well, I guess that's the phone you're buying. You already said.
Had you paid for it already? Or
No.
you just picked it?
Yeah, he was like, what color do you want? And I said red. And then he brought it out. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't want to be like, hey, man, walk your ass back into that fucking...
Because it would ruin his day.
13 feet away. Yeah, I don't know. I just...
Well, then that's your own fault.
No, it is my own fault. Yeah. That's most things in life. You think it's someone else's fault, but it's really your fault, Becky.
Yeah. iPhones just suck. Like, luckily, this phone...
Or Jorge. I don't know.
Is like the first iPhone that...
Or Clarence.
I haven't shattered.
That's not true. You didn't shatter your last iPhone.
I didn't shatter my 6, but I updated it, and then it stopped working. So I had to get a new one.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to.
It just didn't turn on.
You could have taken it somewhere and had them, like, completely reset the phone. But you just took it to Verizon, in which case, I mean, yeah, they're going to try and get you to buy a new phone anyway. They're going to be like...
I didn't take it to Verizon.
Yeah, you did. I went with you.
You went with me to buy a new phone.
Uh-huh.
Before that, I contacted Apple, and I was like, it will not... My phone wouldn't turn on.
I know.
Like... the screen was like flickering, and it just, and it's weird because whatever Evan did, he like rebooted it or whatever the fuck. He took off the update. It works fine.
That's what I'm saying.
There.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, but that's the culture that we live in, and we all partake in it and fall victim to it. is like, oh, this thing doesn't work.
Well,
I'll just buy a new $1,000 phone instead of like maybe taking a week
hey,
to
you
take
bought
it
a
to.
$1,000 phone. I never paid that much for an iPhone.
I mean, you paid like $800 and something for your.
It was $7.
It's like $790 something. And also, yeah, I don't make smart financial decisions when it comes to Apple products for some reason.
I think you're doing. Oh, with Apple products? Well, this computer was a lot of money, but it's the one you needed.
You know what's funny?
It's the most massive one I've seen.
I could have got the Pro,
That shit.
which was like $5,000. You know, I was thinking about this earlier today. Is like, I know people, right, who, because of their family and their upbringing, have kind of just had it easy financially, and so like, I think a lot of people look at, especially young people who have nice things, for instance, and they'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck would you know about like struggling or etc." Right? Because a couple years ago, I would look at me and be like, "Oh, that kid's struggling. He don't have shit." But now, if you looked at me, you'd be like, I mean, I guess I'm 27, so it's reasonable for me to have nice things, but I feel like you know,
For
I mean, to be fair, I do drive a $1,200 20-year-old car
I do think that we
because I
are
want to, not because I have to, but also
luckier
'cause
than most because I feel like there's a
spend
lot
money
of
like
people our age or older that don't have anything this nice. They don't have fucking this. How
Two
much is this
Chalupas.
$2,500 computer? Just
Hold on. First of all, my computer is more than $2,500.
was it more? 28? No, because you got a discount.
I thought it was 34.
I don't think so.
Either way, hold on. Two Chalupas, now brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Sponsor.
Try
us.
one of these next time you go to the gym. What up, Celsius? Send me free drinks. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it was, yeah, cause Evan had a discount. I think it was like 28, 29, and then his discount brought it down to like 23, 24.
Yeah.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. But
there's a majority of people that don't have, like...
Well, that's also because most people, I think the average person by the time they're 27, 29 has a kid. I think. That might not be true. I might just think that's true because of what we're fed as far as like the media, like Hollywood and whatnot, but...
Not
or
that.
social
I
media.
do think that a lot of people...
Well, but you think that based upon
a lot
your
of the
perceptions.
people I know have kids.
Yeah.
A lot of the people
But
that
quantify
come
that.
through my work, pretty
Quantify
much
that.
all of them, if they're my age, they have kids. I'm sure you could. Like, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I know the statistic of how many people our age have kids.
That's what I'm saying. I think that too, but it could be just like with
It could be not that much.
Yeah, it could be like, well, everyone you know does have a kid, but when you actually look at society as a large...
But I think it's a lot, so that's what I'm going to go with.
And reality is just perception.
Yeah.
Nothing to say on that one?
I got caught up in my head.
Oh,
That was loud.
yeah, my bad. I should have turned Do Not Disturb on. Anyways, let's talk about some recent events. Now that we have a new El Presidente,
Oh, Biden.
yeah, can't you just feel that everything's better and the world's saved?
Well, to be fair, what is he? He plans to do
White,
things in like the first
78.
100 days.
Well, everyone does that. It's a 100-day plan. Every single president has that.
So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot in
Well, no,
the talks.
I just mean that like I was listening to something earlier and they were talking about, and and this is, I agree with this. I might be wrong, but and I've said this before, but the podcast I was listening to just brought it to mind recently. Is they were like, and it was someone in politics. This isn't just some dude. This was a woman who's involved in politics, like high up. She was on a podcast and she was talking about she goes, don't you think it's interesting how they couldn't decide on how much money or to even give people money for the second stimulus. And then once Biden won, suddenly it went through. She was like, that's not an accident. She's like, that's how politics work. A lot of people in politics play the Democrat versus Republican. And so they will withhold good things for the people and for the country in order to make one side either look bad or look good. Because had they...
So do we just have more money then? Because Biden's whole thing where he wants to send out another one for $2,000.
Yeah. No. We don't somehow have more money because Biden became president.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, what are you saying?
I'm just saying, like, so we do have more money.
Who?
The government.
No.
No.
That's what I just said. Just because Biden became president doesn't mean money magically appeared.
Not that I think it magically appeared, but just, I mean the sense that, like, oh, they said, no, we don't have any money to give you, but you put someone else.
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's absolutely nonsense. And what's funny, look, I don't give a fuck how you feel about Trump, but Trump was trying to get the last stimulus to $2,000, and I forget who it was, but they squashed it. They were like, nope. So it was $600.
Pretty sure it wasn't at the House of Representatives.
Well, but there was like a specific person who like, and then Biden gets in, and one of the first things he said is like, we're gonna raise it to $2,000. And I saw all these news things that was like, Joe Biden wants to do a $2,000 stimulus and all, and it was like, hooray, hurrah, and I was like, well, Trump just said that. Whether you like him or not, he just said the exact same thing that Biden is getting praised for.
Well, isn't now, like, most of the people in the cabinet Democratic?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say that because I don't know.
I thought I saw something just because I get my little updates from CNN.
Oh, well. You gotta believe everything on those updates then. Although I don't know if they'd lie about that.
Oh
what
my
happened?
God, Larry King died.
Oh my God, who's Larry King? That's Larry King.
He's the TV interviewer. I mean, to be fair, dude was how old?
Larry King, David Letterman, different people, but in my head, same guy. I'm just being real. I don't mean that in any way. But in my head, I just pictured Larry King, and I 100% saw David Letterman.
How old was he? 87.
Oh.
For CNN. He was on CNN. I think if you saw a picture of him.
Maybe. I haven't seen cable TV in, let's see, probably about 10 years, about a decade. So, you know, the only way I get news is social media or podcasts. And I kind of tend to ignore all the news on my social media because, well, social media. So, you know.
I just get my stuff from CNN.
Yeah. Plus, if you're ever in an argument with someone about politics or news or anything like that, and you go, well, I saw on Instagram, I'm going to go ahead and just, I mean, it might be from an accurate source, but just like most of the time when I look it up, when someone says that, or like if someone says, I saw this thing on TikTok, or like if you watch a documentary on YouTube, it's like, well, anyone can upload a documentary on YouTube, so I'm not gonna. But to be fair, there's shit that's just blatantly not true on actual news sources nowadays, so.
That's true. I
don't know who to trust.
Didn't they say that one of the ones that are more reputable is the Daily Mail? That's one of the ones I heard.
I don't know. Well,
I'm not sure.
I heard a study back when I was a little bit younger and much more of a far-leaning left person, I would say. I heard that they did a study of like 100 articles or something like that from different news sources to see which ones are more accurate based upon reality. And, you know, now that I'm older, one of the big questions is like, well, who are these people in the study determining what's accurate? But also, they were like CNN, MSNBC had like a 70-80% accuracy, which like if it's the news and it's not 100% accurate, that's a problem in and of itself. Okay, maybe 90-95 because like I'm sure, they're people, so everyone makes mistakes. But in the news, you're supposed to have, multiple steps that fact checked and verify and people who read over things beforehand so that they can double. But then they were like, Fox News is the least accurate. Now, I don't care what news station you like, but I only ever heard about that study, I'm just saying, from people who like CNN, MSNBC, and were Democrats. So I don't know if that study is true or not, or if that's just some shit.
I need a study from someone who is unbiased. Doesn't fuck with anyone. It's just like, I'm here for the facts.
That study may have been by unbiased people. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's interesting because like CNN is one of the more reputable sources. Like I'll read it. But even then, like I've told you, they have their fucking essentially clickbaity headlines where it's all like that one I told you where it's like, how much was it? 60 million? Or maybe, I think 60 million. It's like 60 million people have died in the U.S. from coronavirus. But when you actually read the article, it's 60 million in the whole world.
I'm assuming, I'm going to go benefit of the doubt and say that was an accident. Just because otherwise that's just it's probably is just such a blatant disregard for truth. Because 60 million people dying in the U.S. would be like, what, a fifth of the population?
So in the world,
60 million? Yeah, because there's 320 million. So maybe like a fifth.
How many people are in the whole world? 6 billion, 7 billion?
Nah, like 7.6 billion, I think. Something like 7.3. I don't know. Either way. Well, yeah, I told you the other day I did the numbers on what they say, the amount of people that they say have died in the U.S. compared to the population of the U.S. And it's like, when you say, the problem is when you say numbers.
I mean, majority of the people that have died, you have to look at the age bracket.
Well, no, not even that. Take away that. That is important, of course, but.
Bless you.
I'm pretty sure.
Did a snot come out?
Woo! That was a big sneeze. I feel like my fucking brain left my body.
Good sneeze. Good sneeze.
Sorry. Excuse me. Just you have to put things in perspective. Like, if I tell you 10,000 people died this year from the flu, you might be like, oh my God, 10,000 people? That's crazy. And then I go, well, yeah, 10,000 people die every year from the flu. I'm not comparing this to COVID. I'm just saying that then you go, oh, wow. Now it's a little less crazy in the sense of it's not a new thing, but it's still crazy when you think 10,000 people. And then I go, well, 50,000 people have died from, as an example, if someone fact checks me and is like, this isn't true.
You guys are so stupid.
Bro. Eat my ass, bro. I love how I made it a dude. Well, it just seems kind of rude to tell a girl to eat your ass. You know what I mean? Like, it's like...
It's aggressive.
Yeah,
it's when, like, women say,
eat my ass, bitch. Like, that's just, like... Like, if I was at a liquor store and, like, someone was being rude and it was a dude and I was like, eat my ass, bro, we might fight. But if, like... Excuse me. I was at a liquor store and a woman was being aggressive. And I was like, eat my ass, bitch. People would be like, whoa. Dude. I'd be like, my bad.
Or they'd laugh.
Or she's like, nah, 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 nah.
Be
Like,
funny.
this is a dirty bitch. Goddamn. What was I talking about?
Numbers.
Oh, numbers. And then if I'm like, well, 50,000 people died from car accidents, you'd be like, oh my God. Suddenly now the flu seems less, but it's still like, well, 50,000 people sounds so big. 10,000 people. If I tell you 500 people died every year from something, you'd be like, wow, 500 people?
Well, yeah,
but
but
like you have to remember
like,
there's 330 million people.
Yeah, this past year is like, yeah, there's COVID, and then this is usually we're not pushing in the media every single day how many people are dying. But if we actually did, like, every time someone died or every like end of the year thing, we're like, all right, 7 million people died this year, guys. Happy New Year.
7 million, that's a lot. That would be a pretty substantial. That would be what?
In the U.S.
That'd be that'd be like over 2% of
the
population.
world.
That's a pretty big, well, that's different.
Okay, well, fine. I'll say
also, you know what we should do?
3,000 people have died this year.
Okay.
Then it's like, wow. So then the next year when COVID hits and you're like,
bro, you're just saying 6,000
people died this year. I know. I'm just saying it in a different way.
No, you're not. You're saying the same exact. I'm saying it with my voice.
From a different approach.
No, you're not.
You know what, Christian?
Anyways, you know what we should do to really teach people about perspective? Because it's like the whole money thing. Like, if I tell you I have $1 million, you're like, okay, I can kind of grasp $1 million. But if I told you I have $1 billion, okay, you can't really grasp it. But if I told you $1 trillion, you cannot comprehend.
Does anyone have $1 trillion?
No. But I'm just saying, like, there's certain things, once you hit certain levels of scale that the human brain can't comprehend in sort of a first-person sense. Because, like, if I tell you 10,000 people died, you're like, oh, my God, I only know 200 people. So that's like... And 200's a lot. If you know 200 people, you're like...
Because realistically, the majority of people are not very... What's the word without being rude?
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. It's everybody. That's just human nature. You can't...
I mean, yeah. Most people, they hear something and they're like, that seems crazy. Because I'm not really fucking thinking about what that number even means. Or if that's even a substantial number.
Well, yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
I just hear a number that I know to me is big. And I'm like, well, that means this is bad.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is it's just a natural human thing to... You know, to understand things on a larger scale, that's why we rely on statistics, because, you know, if you didn't have the bigger picture painted, it would, you know. But here's what I think we should do. Every time someone dies...
Are we going to start keeping track of...
Hold on.
Okay.
Every time someone dies of a car accident, we all get a cell phone ping. Ping, ping.
That'd be so depressing.
Ping, ping. I know.
Someone dies.
But I think it would... Well, I'm mostly just joking. But I think it would put into perspective, like, the difference between deaths, right? Like,
is there something that tells you death tolls per day? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can. It's a statistic. You can
what
Google
do you
it.
Look up?
But it's like
how many people died today?
It's like police brutality when it comes to killing, right? The media wants you to believe that, like, it's running rampant in the streets and everywhere. And don't get me wrong, it's 100% a problem when it occurs, like 100%. But if you just paid attention to the news, you'd be like, oh my God, people are dying.
Wow.
Left and right. And to be fair, people are dying every day. You know what I mean? I think the number is like...
This is wild.
What?
I'm on worldometers.info.
Worldometers sounds like a reputable source.
World population. It keeps growing.
Oh, yeah.
Deaths today. 122,624 and climbing.
122,000 people have died today.
In the world.
Well, yeah.
So not a lot.
Not like down the street.
And 292,000 have been born. So just as much as people have died, people have been born.
No,
so
that's not just as much.
it's just as
way
much.
More. No.
I just
this
mean.
is why we don't.
I just mean it's
don't,
more. It's as much.
It's
it's
not
as more.
This is why you don't trust anything you see on social media, because
this isn't
motherfuckers
social media.
like this.
This is world.
But motherfuckers like this get on and they go, "Oh my god!
What if
just as many people who have died have been born?" Which isn't
what
a
if
crazy
I just fucking
consequence?
every single day I would go live on Instagram and was just like, "All right, guys, the death toll is up to 100,000."
Just like the grimmest news ever.
But I'm all chipper. I'm like, "All right, it's climbing."
World news: 122,000 people died this morning.
That'd be a thing.
Just as many were born. Plus an extra 200,000. But
wait.
Or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 122,000 died and 200 and something. So twice as many were born as died.
This has a lot of shit on it.
I feel like sometimes when you look at numbers, the look on your face.
Also, because these numbers are moving. Look.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
saying.
As you hold your vampire Kool-Aid purple plastic cup.
It's a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, I thought it was the Kool-Aid man for Halloween. I mean, it does kind of look like the Kool-Aid man in Halloween.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But it's just a jack-o'-lantern. You get caught staring at yourself.
Sometimes I catch a look of myself in the mirror and I'm like,
wow, beautiful.
Looking real. The bags under my eyes are real severe right now.
I've seen them worse.
Yeah, I didn't say they were the worst they've ever been, but thank you for reminding me.
I'm just saying they look real good.
This is the price of putting in work. You look old. Unless, of course, you're an influencer and you're putting in work is like pampering yourself. What a bizarre world we live in.
It depends what type of influencer you are.
Yeah. I just mean like the 20-year-old girl, 20-year-old boy, like...
People that are creating things, like that's something that it does take work.
I don't think that's an influencer. If you're a creator of some sort.
Oh. Just a straight influencer?
People who are influencers who are like, I'm creating content.
By just posting a picture?
You're not creating something. I mean, if you're creating something, in my opinion, it has to take work to create. And I mean like actual work, not like... That's a male too, not a female.
That's work to get a good picture, to edit it.
No, it's not.
It takes like an hour's worth of work for the whole process. So yeah, I get what you mean. Like just straight influencers that they don't have like even if you're not a YouTuber, so you're not creating videos, editing, doing all this shit. If you're literally just posting a picture on Instagram and that's your whole thing, that seems like, yeah, I don't know how much work that actually is.
I mean, even that, like...
Because, like, I can post a picture and, like, it takes me an hour and then I'm done. And if you only have to post one picture a week...
Well, no one posts one picture a week.
That's I know. For them, they're always posting stories and whatever, but...
It is work. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's a full 20 because they take their camera everywhere they record. But I'm just like.
But it's not hard work.
It's such a yeah.
It's work.
It's consistent work, but it's not.
Also, I feel like it's crazy just to be because before I got off of Instagram 2 years ago for a year, that was good for me because before I did that. Every single time I went somewhere, I had to Snapchat it. I had to take a picture of it. I had to post about it. And then it's I feel like if you're an influencer or a vlogger or whatever the fuck, you just get lost. You can't live in the moment of everything because all you're doing is, I have to...
Yeah.
It makes every moment less organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's why I hate... social media realistically is
Is that him?
I think so.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
neighbor,
you gotta
the
also
worst.
remember that because these microphones are on, we're picking up
Oh,
like
everything.
lower frequencies louder, and it's feeding directly into our ears rather than. Yeah. Yeah. What are we at right now?
34.
36. Not even.
I can't see that far.
Yep, 36 on that one too. What else you want to talk about?
I think we should talk about. I don't know.
My
I think
dick.
that we should tell people more about ourselves.
Hi, I'm Christian. I'm a Capricorn.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you in your whole entire life?
The most embarrassing thing? Oh, I got one for you. I was thinking about this the other day. Or today. I don't know why I said the other day. I don't know. Days kind of all run together.
I'm gonna close this. This is depressing. The death toll just keeps
Should
rising.
be positive. The birth rate is smashing the death
That's
rate.
true. It's twice as much.
It's like if you were spending money, but you were making twice as much as you were spending. All positives, baby.
Let's hear it.
I threw a party when I was 17. And one person showed up.
One.
One person.
One.
What? Don't look at me like that. I'm a grown
Do
ass
you
man.
not have more than one friend?
Apparently not.
That's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in your life?
I mean,
That's
pretty
embarrassing, but that
embarrassing.
seems like
well, but also, like it's a more complicated story, but I was roommates with people. And
oh, so they weren't like your real friends.
I guess they were more their friends than my friends. And so
That's one of those awkward
they had went
things.
out of town, and we had parties there all the time. So I was like, I'm just gonna have a bunch of people over. We'll kick back, like play beer pong, bullshit, smoke, drink, and then people like reached out to them, and they were like, "Oh, you guys are having a party tonight?" And they were like, "No." And so
No one came.
no one came except for one dude, and I was like,
Did you guys hang out and have fun?
"Yeah, we played beer pong just one-on-one for a while." And I was like, huh. And that was the first time, well, I guess technically that was the only, this whole thing's kind of connected, but that was the whole friend group or et cetera where like I had the learning of experience of, just because you hang out with people and y'all are cool in group and social settings, like doesn't mean that those people actually give a fuck about you. And like,
That's true.
I was talking with
Well, that's why there's your party friends, but they're not your real friends.
yes, well that's what
Because at the end of the day, if shit goes down, like real life shit, it's like, well, I only party with that dude. We're not
that's
close.
what I came to learn.
With the last friend group.
Well, no, not with from that, that's where I kind of learned that. I was talking with Ryan about it the other day. And I was like, you know, it's funny because I hear a whole lot of people, especially on social media, who talk about how they keep their circle small. And like, I don't make a lot of room for people. And like, these are the people who always are out with people, different people all the time, partying, laughing, etc. And I'm now that I'm a little bit older, I'm like, no, I keep my circle small. I got
How
like
big's your circle?
2 people,
Who's the 2 people?
and the second one is only added on because they're attached to the first one. I got one person, you, and then
His
like
girlfriend.
family. Well, I mean, yeah, and then Tracy, obviously, through extension. And I mean, I think we're friends, but I do think mainly that we're friends because of that connection. You know what I mean? And it might be that we all grow close enough to where if shit did go sour
I
in the
already
future,
told you, if shit went down, I picked Tracy.
well, it's going to be a weird divide in this house. Tracy, love you, but pick and shot. I'm not, actually, I wouldn't take, I mean, it depends on obviously what goes down. But
Tracy
Yeah.
cheats. I'm like, I still pick Tracy. She had her reasons.
oh, cool, you can move in with her. But yeah, I keep my circle small because, you know, over the years I've learned that like I don't give a shit about like party friends and like acquaintance things. Like acquaintances, I also don't feel like giving any type of energy to people that aren't like down for the cause, genuine friends.
Because
And I
also,
feel that
it's
that is
hard
very
enough
rare.
to keep up with your
Oh my
actual
God.
friends.
Yeah, well, it's also you get busier as you get
Yeah.
older, and
So
like
it's like, if I'm trying to keep up with all my fucking acquaintances,
yeah.
it's not going to happen.
I mean, you've only got me beat by one.
What do you mean?
Shelby, Carla. Those are like
True.
your real friends. Yeah, I mean, I have a hard enough time even staying in contact with like Shaq on the regular occasionally. Like if I had to balance another real talk, I would forget another person.
If I didn't live with you, you'd forget about me.
That is
If I didn't text you all the time, I think it'd take a bit for you to text me.
well at this point in my life, I don't text anyone back because when you're young, the reason you text and communicate with a whole lot of people is like for the most part, you're bored. If we're
True.
being real, you're bored. I'm busy, bitch. Like, yeah, I'm slow at responding and I don't really keep in contact with a whole lot of people. Which, you know, I do think I could be more open about making new friends. Because I do think that's important. I mean, you know, you could view it as like maybe I should have more than one friend. But like,
But
I'm
also,
sitting
how
in
do
my
you
computer
go
working.
about making friends nowadays?
It's the same as always.
Well, just because,
It's actually easier to.
I don't know. Because remember that one time I really wanted to be friends with that chick that you worked with? Not you worked with. That was at the Starbucks that Shaq worked at.
Oh, yeah.
I was so obsessed with being her friend, and I was just like, I feel it. We would vibe. It
Well,
would
to
be
be
a good
fair,
friendship.
me and her would have. I think me and her were friends at the time. It's just that the thing that determines kind of lifelong friends is like if once the circumstances change and you're no longer around each other, be it by work or by social groups or etc. If you stay in contact, and obviously I just said I'm really bad at that because she was really cool. She was dope, down to earth. She was cool to hang out and around with,
I
but
feel like we could have been friends. Could have been something special. But every single time you're all like, okay, Katie, just fucking talk to her. And then she'd be like, what's
Yeah.
up, guys? And I'd be like,
you like, yeah.
but I'm just bad at talking to anyone.
That is, well, to be fair,
I
like
feel
I
like I've
said,
gotten a little better, but
you're a lot better with talking. You used to be bad talking with me. The whole first 2 years of our relationship, I was just like, so.
It's just me looking pretty. There's literally nothing up here.
You talk a lot more now, though. But also, you know, it is like, it's, as you get older, you start to appreciate and value when people do actually make time for you, because I saw this thing the other day that was like, I'm not free, but I'll make time.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm not free. I got a bunch of shit. My to-do list never ends. It just continues to grow. And if we hang out, it's not because I had free time. It's because I made time available to hang out with you. And that's the difference, is like when you're young, you have free time. Or that's why like people when they're young who are actually serious about something, they're like, oh, I have no social life, because they're in school and working full time or something. Yeah, you don't have a social life because you're busy. Mm-hmm. As you get older, your social life starts to diminish. And then especially if you, like if we had kids right now, I would have no social life. And I'd have to take time away from work, which is like unacceptable.
I'll be taking those fuckers with me.
I'll push you down the stairs.
Strap them on my back and then.
Oh, you're just gonna ignore the fact that I just said I'll push you down the stairs, so now it just makes me look like an asshole.
Anyways.
But
yeah.
Yeah. What's your most embarrassing story?
I don't know. I've real talk. There's so many.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
embarrassing things that have
what's
happened.
your most embarrassing story? Well, I was eating this dude's ass, right? And then...
Well, I think... Well, you already know my most embarrassing story, but I don't know if I want to say that on here. Just because it's...
Well, then pick one that you're happy to tell people. Don't ask a question and be like...
Well, I just wanted to hear yours, and yours was lame.
I mean, that's the only thing that comes to mind.
Yours is
right
kind
now.
of sad.
Well, yeah, that's embarrassing. I thought I had friends. Turned out I just had, like, party friends who were actually my friends by circumstance.
Oh,
Except for the one dude who showed up. Shout out Dylan. You're a true friend.
That's a real friend.
Yeah.
Most embarrassing thing. It was, let's see. It was, I think, 1999.
1999.
I was at Elk Grove Park.
Uh-huh.
There was, like...
So you were 7?
Oh, no. Maybe it was 2001. I think I was like 8.
Okay.
8 or 9. No, I had to have been like 8.
Oh, I got another one. Go ahead.
We're at Elk Grove Park. They have that where they have like a fair going on where there's like booths and everything and just, I don't remember what they call it, but I was there.
Great story.
I'm standing in line. There's kids next to me. We're all standing in line. We're waiting.
Shit yourself.
I get up to the front of the line. I'm ready. I'm fucking juiced.
Oh, I know what you're telling me.
And this bitch says, You gotta include what you're at. You can't ride the horse.
Yeah, thank you.
You're too big for the horse.
It was a small horse.
I wasn't even that big. Like, obviously, I was a little chubby. Like, I was chubbier than, like... Because I feel like kids back then were like twigs. But I was chubby. But I was not break a fucking horse chubby.
What were the LBs, Katie?
If I was 8, that was...
First you were 7, then you were 8, 9, now you're 8.
It was 8, because I remember it was before my parents were divorced.
Okay.
So it was 8.
Ah, the good old days.
I had to have been like...
I wouldn't know.
For my age, it was probably a lot, but I was like 100 pounds.
100 pounds at 8? Just kidding.
I think.
Let me see. What's 8? What's 8 second?
Wait, that's second grade?
8 is second grade, right?
Then that has to be
5
wrong.
5 to 6, so...
Oh, second grade? Then I was probably like 80 pounds. Still big, but I wasn't... I don't think I really blew up until like 5th grade. That's when I got thick. And then I was just obese. But anyways, this bitch said...
You mean obese?
Yeah. This bitch embarrassed me, and the little girls behind me, she was just like, come on, girls. Come on and ride the horse.
Was she big?
I don't remember. She wasn't skinny, but she just looked like a regular bitch. I don't know. And I just remember...
Damn, that's the most insulting thing you can say. You look like a regular bitch.
She was.
Nothing significant
regular bitch.
About
She's
you.
probably ugly as hell now. Anyways, but I'm so thankful because one of the little girls behind me, her mom was with her, and she fucking chewed her out. And she was just going off on her because she wouldn't let me ride. So I was embarrassed because I'm standing there
This
just
chick
wanting
is just
to
doing
ride
a
the
job,
horse.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't let you
No,
bust
she was
the
being
fucking
fucking...
horse's
I
back.
wasn't that fat.
And then she gets chewed out for trying to protect this fucking majestic animal.
Even a pony's like 1,000 pounds. Or like, wait, I looked it up. I think it was like 600 pounds. It was.
Google that right now.
Hey Siri,
Hey, Farrah.
how much does a pony weigh?
It's like Genuine weighs 100.
An average horse weighs about 760.
Average horse.
Yeah, I googled how much a pony weighs.
What says average horse? Not a pony.
Oh, fucking Siri, you suck.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I looked it up. And either way, I was only 80 pounds. I'm
just teasing you.
But I have never been more embarrassed in my life, and I was so depressed, and I just left. And my mom was like, how is the horses? And I was like, I didn't even tell my mom. I was like,
You
it's
know what would have been
fine.
more embarrassing? Had you got on that horse
And the horse died.
and it was like, ah! And like its back snapped.
I just want to
It was
reiterate
like-
this to everyone. I was not that fucking big.
I don't know what the weight bearing,
Like,
the load
yeah,
bearing, the
I
weight,
wasn't
the load.
fucking 40 pounds or 50 pounds like the other girls. But
Do
I
you know
wasn't.
that they were 40 and 50? First of all, if they were 40 pounds, that means you were double the size of them. Also, I don't think so, because 6 and 60 is the average weight. That's why we let kids get out of seat. What are they called?
Child seats. Seat.
Not seat belts.
Seat cars. Car seats.
Car seats. Oh my God. Welcome to Two Morons, also known as Two Chalupas. I haven't said the word car seat in like 17 years. So at 8, if you were 80 pounds,
I was probably like, yeah.
you were maybe like 10 pounds, 15 pounds overweight for like that age group. But that's not a lot. That's barely anything.
Yeah, I think this person was just being a bitch. You know what I think it was? I think it was racism.
I knew you were
Literally,
gonna say that.
everyone else there was
She
white.
was like, look, I'm just going to be
And
real.
I
This
was-
horse throws off Mexicans like a
I
motherfucker.
was the fat beaner there.
She wasn't racist. The horse was racist. She was trying to protect you.
Protect
Protect
you.
you from the horse.
Either way, fuck that bitch. That
That wasn't the most embarrassing thing of your life. This is pulls the chair out from underneath.
That wouldn't be embarrassing.
If I just pull this chair clean out and you just, that would be embarrassing.
Why
Yes,
would
it
it be
would be.
embarrassing? If I fell off a chair,
Yeah,
it'd be
not-
funny. If
would
you
be funny.
pulled it from out under me, I'd be mad.
I mean, embarrassing doesn't always mean it's like
Embarrassing?
horrible.
No,
It's still embarrassing.
I know.
If you were out in public and you slipped and fell in front of a crowd, it'd be embarrassing. It doesn't mean you'd be like frozen in fear. It's still embarrassing.
I mean,
Embarrassing things
if you're
aren't horrible.
truly embarrassed, yeah, it traumatizes you.
Not if you're not a, I don't know, pussy.
I'm a pussy.
To be fair, if I slipped on stage, I'd probably just, if I was on stage, right, and I'm like, it's a show, I'm performing, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of, and then I slipped, I'd just roll off the stage. Just land on my back and just roll backstage. Just,
Well, that's kind of like at my senior prom afterwards, because we all left early.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking. I don't know why I was there, but it was only me and like 6 of the boys from my class, and we're
Whoa.
walking.
you and sick, this,
Yeah, this turns into a pretty interesting
whoa,
story.
you're children, calm down.
But anyways, we're
Harlot.
walking downtown in Old Sac on that fucking cobblestone. And I'm wearing heels because it's prom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking. I'm feeling all hot shit. I bust my fucking ankle and I fall. My whole dress goes up. I fucking tumble. They're
Your
all
dick
just
falls out.
looking at
Everyone's
me.
like, oh my God.
Yeah, I untucked. Like, I worked so hard at tucking that night. It just...
I don't ever tuck it. I just let my freak flag fly.
Freak flag fly.
Freak flag fly.
But yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then they, like, helped me up. They're like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I was like, don't cry, bitch.
You were like, did you guys see my vagina? They were like, yeah.
They most likely did. I was wearing the tiniest of I was like,
As all 17-year-olds do, which is why we're not having daughters. Now, if my son is wearing the tiniest underwear, that is his choice to make. Is it a double standard? Maybe. Am I a bad person? I've been a bad person
I don't
forever.
think it could hold his balls.
Exactly. That's
Just
why I
be
wear
hanging out.
thongs. Yeah, I let the banana sit in the hammock. And then the balls kind of peek out around the edge. Uh-huh. Yeah. So it just looks like really fat lips. Just coming out.
Ew. Ew, that's gross.
Ew. Oh. There's something wrong with big labia? Careful where you go with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think that's a little...
If they were the size of balls, yeah.
I mean...
That chick, remember that chick I showed you?
You showed me?
I showed you with the big vagina. Like she had implants in her vagina.
Oh.
Remember I showed you that picture?
Yeah.
Like I know people like what the fuck they like, but that's just like...
I think, to be fair, also, I think big lips are different than balls. Big lips might be like, if like they were truly big, might be kind of surprising at first, but ultimately I think men would probably just be like, it's a vagina, I'm okay. But like if they looked like balls,
Yeah,
like
I'm
actually...
talking about if they were the size of balls.
No, I'm not saying if they were the size
issue.
of balls. I'm saying if they actually looked
Like a ball?
like a ball, I'd be like...
Then she probably has a dick. You're like, I think those are balls.
Won't know until I go in
I'm
and
just
find
gonna...
out, you know what I'm saying?
She's like, oh, the hole's a little farther back. You're like, okay.
I'm like, this is great. She's like, yeah, fucking...
Ew.
Oh.
Ew.
Oh. Ew?
Ew.
You're such a fucking phobe. Not even gonna give you the prefix to that. You're just phobic.
I'm not. It's just gross when you act it out.
You don't like me acting out being a trans woman getting railed from behind while... Hi, Mom. Alright, I gotta piss. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not my thing, but...
Yeah. Oh. Well, don't check my search history. Wouldn't that be interesting if, like... That would be... I feel like
That
ultimately...
would be a conversation where it's like, I'd be like, are you in... I mean...
It's just an interesting thing to have to maneuver, because it
Because then part of me
your
is
brain
like,
would
do
think,
you want to be with a trans person?
I mean...
Because then it's like... Because
People
I
watch
can't
hentai,
help you.
but I don't think they actually want to be an anime character. It's just something that would be visually pleasing to them.
Some people do.
Well, I mean, I wish I was Goku, but we don't all get our wishes. You know what I mean? Unless we do, in which case, if you can make that happen, hit me up. Because, like...
I don't want to be Trunks.
Oh, so you'd like to be a character who's really cool and then falls off and is no longer relevant, and they try and bring him back with some weird transformation that doesn't really make sense?
Yeah, that's kind of my life story. I'm all about a good comeback.
It wasn't a good comeback.
A comeback that comes out of nowhere.
I'm
loud.
sorry. I can't hear it. And if I can't hear it, it doesn't exist.
But
All
anyway,
right.
guys, I just want to end this, and just so that everyone knows, as of now, the death toll for today is 125,806 and rising.
Which is the same as the birth toll.
But the birth toll is 299,700. We're almost at 300,000, guys, so it's like the deaths
That
didn't
means
even happen.
9 months ago, 150,000 people fucked. At minimum, 150,000 people had sex 9 months ago. 9-ish months ago. And that's not counting all the pullouts, all the condoms, all the infertile people, all the anal.
A lot of people had sex this year.
Yep.
This past
all
year.
of the miscarriages. Ooh, that's kind of that's a dark note. On that note, you know, something tells me that as this podcast goes on more and more, some people are going to love me, and most people are not going to love me. They're going to be like...
That's all things, but fuck them.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm a very specific... You know what I mean? I'm like pineapple on pizza.
Is that specific? A lot of people like that.
A lot, well, in the grand scheme of like 8 billion people, yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's like, say 20-30%. But I love pineapple on pizza. Like, love it. You either love it.
Or is that you saying you love yourself? Because you just referred to yourself as pineapple on pizza. So are you saying you...
That's a great slogan. Kaiser Sose. It's like pineapple on pizza. You're either going to love him or you're not. Well, it kind of doesn't sound that great. It kind of... Maybe if I just keep it to like Kaiser Sose. He's the pineapple on pizza of hip-hop. No, that's kind of clunky. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to workshop that. Send it to a couple people. See what we get back. But,
we'll tell you on the next podcast what he doesn't come up with.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Dragon. Watch Dragon. Oh, wait.
Dragon Tales.
What?
What?
Anyways. Goodbye.
All right, guys. Now we're going to end it. Bye.
It works when you do it. If a girl goes, it's like, oh, she's playful, she's cute. If a guy does, he's like,
you're
it's like,
playful.
oh, he's hey.
Why is your mouth like that?
Just opening it up for the opportunities in life.
Get a lot of opportunities.
Can make a lot of money. I don't have to do this hip hop shit. I could just
open that mouth.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.